Adam Hoffman, thanks for being on the show. How are you, sweetheart?
I am fantastic.
You're as beautiful as the day I met you 10 years ago.
I know, it's incredible.
You've
I thought
aged,
about that the other day. I was like, why does he still look like he's 12?
dude. Can I tell you why?
Go right ahead.
Well, it's not only my mother's superior genetics,
Mm-hmm.
but I take nothing seriously. And it's not like the greatest thing in the world. Like I look young and fresh because I'm like worry free, but I haven't paid taxes in a couple years and my credit score is down. But dude, I'm just living right now.
That's incredible.
But no, you haven't aged either, dude. Like, what's up? What have you?
I know. It's so good, right? Because I had that same ideas. I mean, I've only been through, let me think, a divorce, losing everything, and moving back home.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't sound fun, but it does sound like 2020. Was that 2020 for you, or
Yeah,
is
that was a few years. Yeah, no, that I don't know if she was working there at Target when you were.
No, but I know who you're talking about. I've met your it was girlfriend and fiance at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, we got married and like a few years ago, but we had been like together for like 10 years, and like a year after I was still working at a different Target, and like I was like, well, I walked home and every night I would charge our devices. Her thing comes up and I just hear ding, 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 ding. I was like, this is weird, even for her stuff. And I never go through her stuff. I go pick it up. It's her ex-boyfriend that she's been like talking to for like 6 months. So I was like, oh, this is deep. Yeah.
A little bit of the tea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was great.
I'm sorry, dude. That's definitely not fun.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's my favorite thing to say is it's not fun, but
you'll actually love like how we kind of like full circle ended it though, because so my brother was like, you remember, like, big nerd. My brother was like, oh, we'll play some more games, but I knew he was taking me to have like an intervention because I knew I was unhappy like when we last time we hung out, and he knew like I was really seriously thinking of like going.
Right.
And so we go, and I was like, hey, listen, this is what happened. My dad's just like, why don't we just go grab all your shit and bring it here? And I'm like, there's no reason not to do that. So then
it's a healthy alternative.
Yeah, right. So because that was the thing, because I knew if I just like I'm leaving, this isn't working kind of thing, I knew she was gonna be like, what girl and cops, stuff on the front yard, and like I don't want that life. So we packed up all my shit in like an hour, and I'm like, were you guys looting? Like when there was like problems in the city, have you guys been looting this whole time? And so we get it. It's really funny because it's the only like message I kept afterwards, is because in the middle of it she calls and I'm like, I'm not answering this because I can't answer this and deal with the stuff we were doing.
Right.
And it's like, Adam, I am your wife, blah blah blah. Wait till I get home. It's just so like what our relationship was.
Right.
And so the stuff's gone, and it's really funny because she came home and normally she would have busted in the door and just been screaming at me just because I hadn't answered her. But my dad and my brother are there, and she's like, hey guys, how you doing? And I'm just like,
beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like midnight. Like she knew something was up. It's like midnight on a weekday. Like you knew something was going on. And I'm like, we gotta talk. And she's like, about what? And I'm like, us. And she's like, are you leaving me? And I was like, yep. And she threw herself at the door like a white girl on Cops. And my dad, she's like, why is he leaving? And Dad's like, I know everything. He's like, he told us, like, you can't sell it.
Right. Like there's nothing to pitch right now. He's just gonna go.
We had an apartment, and I was like, okay, let's go. And my brother's going. It's like, no, you need to go faster. He's like, why? Because listen, she's crazy. And we get to the car, and he thought I was like not serious. She like threw herself on his car. There's probably a dent in there somewhere.
Okay. Your ex-sized dent.
Yep. It was actually funny because as soon as I took off my ring, and I'm like, guess I don't need this anymore. And he's like, this is like Aladdin. I said this.
Dude, and now you understand how he feels.
Yeah, exactly. It was great.
How's the single life, dude?
Actually, I'm seeing someone now, but like totally opposite ends,
Mm-hmm.
both on the like racial spectrum as well as like personality wise.
Just
So
not
like,
your ex.
yeah,
Any
no,
ass-
yeah, no, definitely no. Like, go away, go away.
Dude,
Like it's
I'm
really
glad
funny
you're
because
happy. You're like laughing about it, which is a good sign.
yeah, well, yeah, I moved past. It was funny because before I made that move, like I found out she was cheating like 6 months prior to me leaving, and
Mm.
then like right around my birthday in December, me and my brothers had gone like to this nerd thing, and she just wanted to have this long drawn out argument on the phone, like a crazy person. Like,
You're nerding out.
yeah. She fell. Yeah, she did some
Dude,
hard drugs.
I got a story for you, bro. So, I tend to meet the love of my life pretty often.
Yeah.
I do it a lot. I think 3 in the past year,
Nice.
and I'll date these people for years. And I've met some really really sweet people. My baby mom and me are cool.
Yeah.
Like she lives in Maryland, but like, we're civil. We don't fight about like petty shit. Like we talk. Kids are in school and stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, so I was dating this girl for 2 years. We broke up early last year. I was literally I was where I'm at right now. Like I'm in the spot I was sitting when I realized I should go over there and move all of my shit out right now.
Yep.
Like it wasn't a thought. Like it wasn't something I was gonna do. But like one day I was right here with my now roommate, and something came up, and I was just like, well, I knew that she was like, she's an attention seeker by any means necessary. Which, whatever, as long as it doesn't make you a shitty person, get all the attention you want. But she became a shitty person because of it, and started seeing this dude, I think like January. So in March, I kind of like, we have a conversation where like we're living together and we're like, we should probably like not live together anymore, but like, try to work on it because it's like, I don't know. I was an idiot, but I thought like, oh, it's worth working on.
Yeah,
But
I did the same thing.
Sitting here, and right, no, but I was talking to one of my friends who knows how she is and knows that I know how she is. It's like towards the tail end of me like accepting how she, and something came up in conversation where like he let slip that she also had sex with someone that I like used to call a cousin. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go over there right now and bring all my shit back. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is that we were growing weed in her closet.
Of course.
Yeah, we had dumped a couple $100 into this like little project that we had. But like at the time I was like, no, everything goes now. So it's literally me just trying to get all of my shit out of her apartment, but then like an entire like grow setup too. And I'm like, dude, it was a lot. But it's like when he takes his PlayStation, it's real.
Yeah, exactly.
When he takes his weed plants, it's real.
It's real.
It's real shit.
It's over.
Yeah, but it's been a year. You know what? I haven't dated anybody since, dude. I'm like so happily single, and it's like pretty dope. You just like, did you know that you could like meet a girl and be friends with them and not have sex with them?
I didn't know that. Yes.
Bro, no, they don't teach that in fucking school, and they
don't.
They
need to
meet a girl because they're like a person and shit. And, like, you find out that they're like, oh, like you're kind of like me in that we have similarities and we get along. You could just be friends with them. You don't have to have sex with them and never speak to them again.
I did learn that. You see, I didn't know before because anyone that could possibly have talked to me, she would have like beaten over the head with something.
No, like my best friend's a girl. My best friend, her name's Alicia. But romance has never been a thing between me. I know it's possible, but like, dude, meeting girls and telling them straight up, like, hey, I'm not trying to date, but like, what are your interests? Just it's odd, but it sucks doing it at 30. Like, what a toxic like way to grow up. That at 30 you're just like, wait, I don't have to like decide. Do I want to be in a relationship with this female I just met? Like, that's not a measurement you should take.
Yep. Yeah. Let me tell you, because at the very beginning, done, got home. I'm like, so I'm in my 30s. I'm in my parents' house. She wiped out my bank account.
Mm,
Huh. I was like, this is not where I saw this ending up.
no.
Hey.
It rarely does. But dude, like when you were telling me about the situation you're getting divorced, and so I did it with a fucking smile on your face, and I'm happy
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, man, listen, that's all final and behind me. It's really funny though, because she has not moved past it, and it's really funny to watch. Like, it's not like I stalk her or anything, but once in a while, like, because I've blocked her on everything, because no.
Uh,
But then the other day, like recently, someone I come in contact with had COVID, so then I had to quarantine for 2 weeks because I work in healthcare now. So they're like, no, you gotta stay. Yeah, he's like, you gotta stay home. I'm like, okay, no problem. And so like I'm home, and my my brother had dropped off the dog because they just had a baby. So like they're like, hey, can you help us out for a little bit? I was like, yeah, I don't care. Drop the dog off. So I'm napping on the bed. The dog's laying down. My phone goes off. I thought it was my work going, hey, this is when you could come in to get tested,
mm.
And so I pick up the phone, and it's like, Adam, and I'm like, is that? I was like, yes. And they're like, happy anniversary. I'm like, you must be fucking kidding me. Hung up the phone, but I'm just like, you're insane.
Yeah.
It's like
So I don't like I love talking shit, especially on people I don't necessarily like my ex.
Yeah.
But I always have to set it up like before I talk shit on someone else. And this conversations come up on every Joe the Show podcast so far. We're all pieces of shit to an extent, and I will admit that I am not only good at it, but I do it often. I'm getting better at like picking when you should, and at least I'm honest about it nowadays. But like, I wasn't fucking awesome either. Like, she probably should have left me like a year in. But like you're saying your ex was toxic and called you on your fucking anniversary. Like, that's not a bad idea.
yeah. The thing was like, I bent over backwards, and she was like, took advantage and was toxic, whatever. Like, it was definitely a situation where I should have left years and years and years ago. But it was just like, I always thought, oh, this will work out, same kind of deal, like where you think it's gonna work out, and it's just like, that's not the way it works.
Yeah. So your new girlfriend, like, she knows a lot about you.
Yes.
So, not that I need to be on the same level as her, but I have a couple like close personal questions that maybe she'll learn something from it, maybe she won't, but I sure will.
Here we go.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
What's your favorite porn search?
Let's see.
Go right for it.
Just right.
Comes up. Yep.
That's that Prego shit. Gravitas. Yep.
Oh.
Boom, which probably has some like mental things, but like we're not gonna look into that part of it.
We'll move on, but I'm just gonna say some pregnant girls are hot. I get it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So who made out with a bigger steal, your mom or your dad? Like who dated above their level at time of your conception? Like who was bragging and who was hiding?
So it's kind of funny because at conception, it was kind of like, I would say almost like a split. They were so young. So like they were like early 20s, and neither one of them had like set careers. But mom was going to be a teacher, and dad ended up doing finance later on. So like I'm thinking mom made out long term, but at the beginning, like you didn't know what was going to happen.
Right. That's really nice to know. I guess what I'm asking is like who was hotter, your mom or your dad?
Oh, mom. I had to think about it.
Yeah.
Listen, I look like he did, and so like you're looking at him.
When you go and get a haircut, what are some acceptable talking points? Because I know it's an awkward situation to be in because you're forced to be in close contact with another human being. What are acceptable things that you are happy to respond to when in the barber chair?
Like I'll discuss family stuff, but if the guy starts talking politics, like I'm not doing that because if I piss you off, you have access to my carotid artery.
Like Sweeney Todd style, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't want to be in the chair and him start talking Trump stuff, and you say "f that guy" and be like, "Sink."
Yeah, dude, you'll end up a fucking meat pie.
Yeah, that'd be bad. Look at me. That's so much pie. So much.
I'd have a slice, dude. I'd try, like, not because I want to taste you. Well, not because I want to taste you.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can just imagine it would taste as if it was, there's bacon crumble in there.
That's true. You got to render that fat out, though. Like, make sure.
Yeah, but Mrs. Lovett was really good at making, apparently just really good at cooking human flesh.
Yeah, so, like, you got to learn that skill.
Where do you think you learned that? Because I don't think that was, like, a thing in London, just, like, cooking up people and shit. Or at least being good at it.
I mean, you just didn't talk about it. I mean, it happened. You just didn't talk about it. It's like, it's that cheap cut. Like, you knew what it was, but no one's, it's just like, mystery meat.
Dude, mystery meat, I wish was my nickname in high school. So what are a couple good things that you think came out of COVID, both for yourself and as a whole?
For myself, it honestly, because me and the girl I'm with have been dating about 2 years. And honestly, this time, like, apart, like, really being able to be by ourselves and not have to, because my ex was so, like, clingy. So us realizing, being apart isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, we appreciate the time we do have together more, I think, now, because there was a point in time we had to be like 6 months apart because COVID was some real stuff. I mean, still some real stuff, but like, it was really some real stuff when no one was like listening at all. And it's like wildness in the streets.
You guys were keeping apart and shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like we both worked for healthcare. So it's like, you really don't have a whole lot of choice. It's scary.
Right. Yeah, luckily I just got vaccinated because I also am a healthcare worker.
Yep. Yeah, I'm fully vaccinated now.
Nice. So if we saw each other and planned on quarantining after a meeting, we could hug.
That's true. And then people would freak out, like, "Oh my god, don't they know it's COVID?"
They're touching each other, which is weird because like usually I order from like Amazon a lot, which like whatever. Yep. But usually when they deliver stuff, like I just know, like when you drop a box off, it was handled by someone who touched their dick.
Yep, absolutely.
In fact, a long line of people who have been touching their dick have touched my package, and now it's at my front door.
Truly terrifying.
And now it's COVID-riddled dick hands that I have to fucking worry about. And it'd be different if I knew who handled it. But I don't. This is random dicks we're talking about.
That's true.
This is glory hole status bacteria on every Amazon package.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, dude, tell me about it. And like, I can't explain that to my kids yet. Like, why can't I touch the box yet? Oh, it's dirty. I'll just use COVID as an excuse now.
Exactly.
But like, I really want to be
like, I know a lot of people work at Amazon. I was like, yeah.
But they're people, and people are gross.
Yeah, people are gross. But these people are like extra gross. It's like, I know.
Well, because it's still retail work.
Yep.
And like, just coming from retail, you know that like you see everything.
We know it all, right? Like, we've seen
not only the customers, but the employees at retail spots. Wide array of people. Wide array of experiences.
I saw the look of Donna in your eye when you said that.
I don't like speaking of names in a negative sense, especially when I don't know personally anymore. But there are some people that I'm glad I haven't been in contact with, even though I walk by her house when I take the 27 home from work, and sometimes I see her and her husband outside, and I walk right by them. I don't say anything because they don't recognize me, and that's awesome.
That is pretty great when that happens.
But dude, episode 1 of the podcast was with Eric Majette.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about him, like when you were like, because I was like, man, I remember some stuff.
Oh yeah,
it was always great because the other Joe we knew, in a red shirt, who was in charge of us, he was the one who like ran all the garbage, but he'd always like be asking me like, so what were they doing? And I was like, we were just backstocking, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do any. Listen, we were in our 20s, and they made us be in that cooler for hours at a time.
That freezer, the negative 20-degree freezer. Okay, everyone who's watching this right now, you think you know. You think you know, but you don't, because these guys at least were, normal body types. This man here has a normal body type. Our buddy Eric has a normal body type. I am shaped like the Michelin Man. So they were like, yeah, we didn't get a bodysuit that was going to fit you. So you're going to have to wear a hoodie. It was like, you can wear a hoodie and whatever jacket you can get. Yeah.
Adam, we're not going to shell out the $100 to make sure you don't die in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's not even like you were like, what did you need? Like a 3X or something?
Yeah,
and they were like, sorry, XL is the best we're going to do.
It took forever. Like literally, after you left, they finally got him because I told them I wouldn't do it unless they got me a suit. I was like, nope, not happening. And
you know why I left, right? You know why I left? So I got fired. Not Eric Majed, but there was another Eric. I know who got fired with me.
Yeah.
And so I had a partner, Carlos. I had a partner at my position because I wasn't a manager by any means, but I was a manager.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
So I was a manager's assistant, and I had a partner, so like 2 assistants and shit. And he had to go take a little inventory in the freezer. I happened to park a pallet jack in front of the freezer door. Just because I knew he was like, I'm going to be quick. I don't need a jacket. I'm like, all right, asshole. So I put the pallet jack in front of the door, and he tried to get out. I think maybe the manager who fired me clocked it at 2 minutes and 13 seconds or some shit like that, where he was in the freezer with just like a hoodie on.
Yeah, so I do remember. Because I thought that's what I got Eric too, for a different person though. Because I think he did it to like one of the floor people the one time, and I was just like,
no, we got.
I think that was like very close to each other. I was like, how did they both get out for this?
Dude, we got fired the same day because I got fired. They pulled me in the office, and then as soon as I left, I called Eric and I was like, "Yo, bro, you're next." And then he called me 20 minutes later. He's like, "Oh, as soon as they called me into the office, I just left." I was like, "Oh, sweet."
Yeah, man. That was some toxic environments. Oh my God, you should.
Well, it's retail, bro, and like I still talk to people that like are from there and shit. Like Felicia works at the Wawa near me, and I worked with Felicia for a long time at that Wawa. Felicia's a sweetheart. Like I love that girl. I don't really talk to, but like I keep tabs on Ed. You know, Alexandra was my old neighbor, but like there's still people from Target that I see once in a while.
There's some, and
I'm interested in Kane. I like what Kane gets into. He's a very interesting person.
He is an interesting person, but he also worries me how like into Target like it's gonna be.
Dude, he's no bullshit about his job.
Yeah,
and like,
that is true.
Levels.
Yeah, this was the other day. Is like
that man doesn't care. You can't say he does not care about his job.
He definitely does. That's the funny thing is like, because I think it was shortly after, because we were all in market. Nick had taken over, and Bailey. I know we don't use the name, but he's in California, so whatever. And he left forever ago. But and things were good, and then he went overnight, and I went with him, and I ended up managing for a few years, and I realized I was like, there's some terrible human beings. Like there's like some terror stories I got. Like it was craziness.
Bro, my next big job after Target, I went to fucking Wawa. I worked overnight full time in Roxborough. So like all the drunks from Manayunk would bombard the place every fucking night. So it's like I deal with retail employees, but then I also have to deal with drunk college idiots. Not anymore. Thank God I'm in healthcare now, because like the people I deal with now, they have the excuse of not feeling well when they don't act right.
So I work in healthcare, but I work in like our kitchen, and it's amazing because a lot of the stuff, because when I got there, I was like, oh, this place is it's an upscale like retirement community, and so like, it makes me laugh because the people in that kitchen, I was like, there's just as much drama there as was at Target, and I was like, I thought this was behind me.
No, it's not. But at my job now, they ask me why I'm so quiet, and I'm just like, hey, you guys are lovely people, and if you want to talk to me, feel free. I guess I'm just not talkative, which anybody who knows me in real life knows that's fucking bullshit. I will
Yep.
not shut up. In fact, I'll talk to the point where I'll probably say the wrong thing 10 times in a row
Yep.
and still not realize it.
Oh my God, so many times. There's definitely some times like Joe, no, Joseph,
Like, just shut the fuck up.
you're gonna get us all fired right now.
I'm friends with anybody I work with on social media and stuff, like mostly because they're like older people. They're all great, but like I just learned my lesson of like, you know what? I love talking to people, but like getting close to people that like are work proximity associates is like there's a reserve for that. Some people become friends, but I've only been there like a year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned that all doctors are dickheads.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Absolutely.
all of them. Like I bet they're good people. I don't know them, but just from my interaction. Like
Yep.
when I watch Scrubs a lot, and like Dr. Cox not even like acknowledging people. That's just how they are. They just throw you documents like this is for the computer. You know how to do that, right? Uh,
That's
I
we,
guess
we always joke as we'll take orders from the nursing assistants, which is like a nurse, except you couldn't get through school.
a nurse with less schooling. We'll
Yeah,
say
exactly. So we'll call, and there's literally like only three things we can say, like when I'm talking to these people, like this person needs this food, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, fax us an order, and then like later they'll call, and it's like, they need. It's like, did you fax the order? No. I'm like,
we need.
afterwards, I'll hang up the phone. I'll be like, they're in charge of human lives.
It's not, dude. That's what I mean. Like on a person to person basis, people are fucking weird. The
Yep.
weirdest part about not about working in healthcare is you can't smoke cigarettes, or at least you have to lie about it for your health insurance and stuff. And like you see, like I obviously like smoke cigs on here
I don't
because
know what
I
you're talking about.
well, I well I smoke cigs on camera because I have really bad anxiety, but also like I don't know, I smoked when I was younger. It's just a fucking bad habit, and I try not to smoke at work. I like save that for when I get home, before I go to bed or whatever. But
Yeah.
like I don't know, sometimes I break down, and there's people who smoke there who like go like 3 blocks down and like hide and shit. I'm like in the fucking garage, like just like
with the two
should,
other doctors that are down there.
right, like should I care more? Like are cigarettes really like the health concern that is crippling the nation at this moment? Like I get not smoking on campus because like where you don't want to like smoke around people who are already like
Yep.
sick.
Yep.
But like I'm sorry, my lunch break's only so long. I'm gonna
That's the thing, like, because they're very strict at my place. They're like, "Oh yeah, there's no smoking on campus." I'm like, "Okay, buddy." Now I don't smoke, so I'm cool. But like, there's definitely like a couple of cooks we have where they come back from the bathroom, and like we knew you went to your car and smoked, like, bro, like I don't.
all cooks, and I'll say this now for everyone to hear. All cooks smoke Newport 100s, all of them. Every cook I ever met smoked Newport 100s, and the best cooks have an unlit cigarette in their mouth while they're cooking. And I won't back down.
There's one guy that if he could get away with it, that would be happening every day. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, show it off. If I go into a restaurant and I look back into the kitchen and their lead chef is I don't even care what the fuck he's cooking. If there is an unlit Newport 100 hanging out of his lip or her lip, whatever the fuck they suggest I eat,
Yep.
I'm getting that.
Yep. Absolute. 100%.
You know what else is dangerous about my job? Not just like the cigarette part. So like when I worked at Target, I really didn't smoke that much because like used to be an addict. I turned my shit around, and that was part of it. I smoked weed a lot less when I was younger.
What are you talking about, Joe?
I know.
I would have never figured it out.
But now I smoke. Like I got medical like reasons, but like I enjoy that shit. Like everyone smokes for a reason. Like I'll talk all the medical benefits. I like to get high. Fuck you. But there's a dispensary. Literally, I could spit on the front door if I walked outside my job, and I would never do that because I love this place. But that also makes things a bit hard too because I would never like smoke and like at work.
Yeah.
Unless you follow me at Snapchat.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I just go out and it's like, how bad would it be if I just picked up my prescription and went on back in?
So it is really funny because we obviously as much as they smoke those Newports, they also smoke that other stuff.
The wacky tobacco?
Yeah, exactly. The wacky tobacco. But
Oh,
I know you're like, whoo. But so we definitely had a few that were like, it's like, okay, you can smoke weed sometimes, but like, bro, I could see the veins in your eyeballs. Like you need to like you need to chill before you come in here. But I don't even knew this. My real name, like my legal name is Adam, and they figured that out and they started using the other one. And I was like, no, like it's that thing.
I don't remember it, but I did figure it out. But I respect that.
Yeah, because there's always on the lists. Because there's always on like the schedule. I was like, and I remember telling you, it's like, don't ever use it. We will have a problem.
Because when you get mad, it's like, all right, this is probably one guy.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It's funny. Few people have seen it, but everyone who's seen it has remembered it. But
definitely nothing.
One guy's like, he just kept going, and I told him just to stop because I'm like, I'm at work. I don't want to lose my temper. He kept going, and at one point I was like, okay, remember. I just want you to remember because I worked like our dining manager. I worked directly below them. I was like, the random drug test could be a little bit less random this month.
Just cross your fingers. But no, dude, like I got drug tested to come in to my new job, and I got nicotine tested too. The thing is that I'm a fucking freak, brother. I've literally been taking care of myself to the point where I can get weed out of my system literally with just my regular workout routine and water in 5 days.
Yeah, I do know some people like that who are like, they always knew how to like here's the spot, here we go.
Oh, dude, people get through the test all the fucking time. I remember, no, you don't know this person, but I bought someone's pee, and I literally had to strap a baggie of it to my fucking inner thigh,
Nice.
which you know what, which drew some questions because it's a huge bulge, but I wasn't worried about getting through the doctor because the doctor can't be like, yo, bro, let me see your dick just to make sure.
Yep.
But like, it's my friend, so I didn't want to think I was like cheaping out. But they know I have a monster hog, so they were like, "Oh, nice bulge. Have a nice day."
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But Adam, we have reached the half-hour mark. So I need you have 30 seconds. Give any shout-outs you want, and tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay. Anyone who's watching, they can find me at Pumpkin Gaming on YouTube. I do Pokemon Nuzlocke. It would take longer than 30 seconds to really kind of go through all the rules on that. But yeah, I was like, basically it's a Pokemon game, but you catch the first Pokemon you run into. You can't catch anything else. If a Pokemon faints, it dies. That's the basic rules. And on channel, I explain any extra stuff I'd be doing. But it's been good catching up with you, man.
Dude, you too, bro. I really appreciate you coming on. You were like, I was like, hey, do you want to come on? You were like, yes, absolutely. I'm like, finally, someone who's also creating content wants to fucking talk about shit, and I'm glad it's someone that I've really been wanting to catch up with. So thank you, Adam.
I know. I've missed you.
Oh, and we're going to talk about more later, but say goodbye to the pretty people.
Goodbye, pretty people.
Goodbye, pretty people. Go fuck yourself.
No.